You're listening to Non-Stop Rock Talk with Tyson Bryden.
Good evening, Gary and Mike. Welcome to Non-Stop Rock Talk. It's really a pleasure to have you both on the show this evening. How are you guys doing?
Great. And Tyson, thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it. We mean that. Promotion is everything in this business, so we appreciate it very much.
My pleasure. Not a problem at all. So I'm just kind of curious for you guys throughout. I mean, I'm going to go into the social distancing thing because I kind of like to ask the artists, how they've been coping with it and what they've had to do. Have you guys been isolated, or have you been able to, we're kind of, things are opening up a bit more and whatnot, but I'm just kind of curious of how you guys have been coping with it.
Well, it's horrific for sex, but no. I think I can speak for myself. I think Mike is close to this too. I think I've been isolated since March, the end of March, beginning of April. And basically, I own a radio station, so I have a satellite studio right in my home. So
cool.
I do a lot of work there, a lot of production work, a lot of live stuff too. And so even though it's been a pain in the rear end, I'm lacking in vitamin D. That's about it for me.
Yeah, for me, I had a cinematography business going, and I was actually doing really well just before the outbreak took off, and it's like, boom, just lost 95% of my business. So everything I'm doing right now is kind of like online from residual stuff I already been doing previously. But it has been a big effect on me.
Oh, that's too bad. And as it has for a lot of people, right? It's it's a whole. I have to be honest. I didn't think it was going to go on this long. I didn't really understand the extent of everything as it was taking place. I just thought, okay, we're going to be a few weeks maybe, and because honestly, this has never really happened in our lifetime, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. I know it's pretty horrible, and especially people that are older or have underlying health conditions, which I'm both. You got to be careful because the majority of people with this virus, it won't really affect them, or they will have some very minor issues. But, people that are older or have some health conditions, it could kill them. So, yeah, it is kind of a shocker, and you want to stay away from people. And I think that's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
Perfect. So let's talk about your music, which is Walker's K. I'm kind of curious about the band itself, and a little bit of if you guys can give me a little bit of history on it and all those pertinent details that the listeners would like to hear.
Well, as far as the history, the band is actually just Mike and I, and we use other people, a drummer and a bass player for touring. But the band is actually just Mike and I. And I met Mike a few years back at my radio station, actually. He was a guest on another person's show, and we got to talking, and he was talking about music and sound and equipment and technology, and I was kind of enthralled. So I said, hey, you're a guitar player? And, of course, he said, yeah. And I said, hey, would you be interested if I start a new project in the future, maybe coming and, playing and seeing if we gel, and if it works out, we could start a project together. And the rest is history. That's what happened.
Wow, that's fantastic. So before, let's talk about you guys musically before this band. Like, what had you? What kind of was your background, both of you? Obviously, you've probably been playing for years, but I'm just kind of curious about how what you guys had, what you've done in the past.
Mike, you want to start that one?
Yeah, sure. Mine would be pretty short compared to yours, but basically, I really got into music or into playing guitar back when I was in high school, when I first seen my first rock band in the gymnasium, and it just blew me away to hear that guitar and how it sounded.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this off and on, playing in cover bands, I've been playing in bars, and and then I always had the technical side where I always loved to record, so I've been recording. Playing guitar, doing cinematography, anything to do with entertainment in that aspect. I always had a fascination for it, and I just love learning stuff like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. As far as I've had some success. I'd say limited success. Back in the '80s, I was in a band that did very well. It was on a label and toured with some very prominent people. In the '90s, actually, where it was even better for me. And I guess it all started and came together. I was always toying with some instruments here and there, but nothing serious. And once MTV came out in 1981, that's when I said, I'm changing careers. I want a piece of this. I want to be a musician. I want to do this. So I ended up pursuing it since then, besides doing a lot of other things in my life. And that's basically the background, and enjoyed it for many, many decades.
That's fantastic. I mean, I myself am I'm a guitar player as well. So, I mean, I've done the cover band thing, and I was in a tribute band for quite a number of years, and so I can totally relate to what you guys are saying. And Mike mentioning the electric guitar and that amplifier, and hearing that for the first time, and when I hear a good guitar sound, for instance, I mean, that just drives me. Especially, I mean, you hear something on a song, and you're like, wow. It's like, you kind of think, man, I want that tone, or you know what I mean? It's just one of those things that's in the back of your brain, and it's always with you, right?
Exactly.
So in terms of, let's talk about the name a little bit. I understand there's a little bit of a story behind that.
Yeah, there is. I'm a private pilot, and back in 1997, I believe, I and a couple of friends, we flew into the Bahamas. We were looking to do a trip kind of thing, something different. And I did some research and found this island called Walker's Cay, which was in the Bahamas. It's in the northernmost part of the Bahamas. It's an out island way out north. And they were actually promoting in some pilot magazines that I subscribed to. And I said, you know what? That would be a cool trip. So we decided to go, and we spent a little bit over a week there, and I was inspired. I wrote a lot of songs, and I said, you know what? If I ever start another project, a band, I think that would be kind of a unique name for a band, because no one really has something like that out there.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be something unique, so that's how the name came about.
Oh, that's very cool. That's, I mean, I when I saw the name, and at first I was like, is that Clay or is it K? Just because of the spelling, it's Cay, right?
Right.
And you had earlier alluded to the fact that in over there they call it Key. Is that correct?
That's correct. They would pronounce that like Key.
Yeah.
Where we would say K. But here's the funny thing. There's a band called, anything close to this, there's a band that's called K's Choice.
I remember that.
Remember that?
From Australia, I believe.
No, they're from Sweden, I believe.
Sweden, okay. Female singer, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. I actually did some gigs with them. I toured with them.
Oh, cool.
And not in their band, but as a support act.
Yeah.
And that's the closest thing that comes to Walker's Cay. Then you have K's Choice.
K's Choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember I remember they had a song. I don't know if it was on the radio but I do remember hearing it. That was like kind of like mid-90s, right?
Yeah, I'm Not an Addict.
I'm Not an Addict. That's right. Great tune. Yeah.
Right. Sarah Bettens is the singer.
Yeah, that was a great tune.
Yeah, for sure.
So, in terms of collaboration, you guys write the songs together, like you guys collaborate together, and.
Well, what happens is I kind of get these ideas for songs, either lyrics or a melody or whatever, and I put the song together with everything, and then I ship it over to Mike. And I say ship it because we can't see each other right now.
That's right. Yeah.
But he kind of listens to it, and and he'll say, yeah, this is good, or maybe we should do this, or maybe do this because this is the kind of lead I may want to put in. And he experiments, and then we finally get it together, and it comes together, and then we record it. So that's basically it. How it works. It's a very simple process.
So, in terms of recording and whatnot, where would you do that? Did you mention that already? But I can't. Do you guys have a home studio? I guess you both do that. I take.
Well, we do, but Mike is the studio. Mike is. You're not going to in his house.
Yeah.
His home, the equipment that he has. You have to go by the equipment and, of course, the person using it.
Yeah.
you're not going to find anything better really in any multi-million-dollar studios, because he goes all out. He buys and experiments and gets, some of the top of the line hardware and software. So we do everything except mastering right in his home. Hey, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just a technical geek, so I've always strived for that the tone or the best sound, or always looking for that right piece of equipment to do the job.
Right.
But like Gary was saying, you have to have the skills too, because you can have all this good equipment, and if you can't do something with it, it's like it's wasted.
Yeah,
exactly. So, like Mike, in terms of production engineering, like who was kind of your influence of like a producer or an engineer that you really like, and someone that maybe you would try to emulate when you're doing production?
A while back, I think Brian Tankersley, which is a country guy, he was a really just amazing recording guy, and also there's guys online. I can't think of any major names right now. There's another guy that's worked with Green Day. Do you remember that guy's name, Gary? The guy that remixed their stuff.
I don't remember. I know I can see his face and his.
I can see his face, but I can't recall. And he's phenomenal, and he's a drummer by what he used to do before, and I think that's how he got into it. And then he's got a phenomenal recording studio in LA, and it's the stuff he puts out is just top notch.
Yeah, for sure.
But and I like a lot of the older stuff come from Britain. That they do an amazing job doing the mixes, and the tone that they get is just phenomenal.
Yeah, there is something about the British sound, isn't there?
There is. There's something they got.
I tell you, it's a great. It's like we really try to do it. It's great. You gotta love it. It's great. We put everything up to 11.
Oh, you beat me to it. I was gonna say.
I knew that was coming. I had a feeling that was coming. I was like, you know what? There's a Spinal Tap moment coming here.
That's right, and that's what we got to tell them we got, because these all go to 11, not 10. They go to 11.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
These go to 11, but and that's the best when he goes, but. Why don't you just make it louder and have it go to 10?
Yeah. Then he goes, the big pause, the dramatic pause. He goes,
yeah.
No. These go to 11.
I remember when I first seen that show for the first maybe 5 minutes, I thought it was real. I thought this was a real documentary.
Yeah.
And,
oh, man. We're going to be on YouTube or Netflix or whatever watching that tonight. Now watch.
Exactly.
Well, right? No kidding. I mean, there's so many little like nuances in that movie that subtle things that maybe if you watch it like 3 or 4 times and then, hey, I totally missed that.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's right in the movie. It's not really a nuance, but like when he's holding up the Les Paul and it's not plugged in and he's saying, listen to the sustain.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And you know what makes those scenes more hilarious? First of all, Rob Reiner, he played the part really well, like questioning the guys, right? But put that aside, is when, what's his name there, the guitar player, what's his name again?
Nigel Tufnell.
Nigel, right. He's chewing gum and smoking a cigarette at the same time while he's doing all that. And that's genius. The director, while he's chewing the gum and Rob Reiner's accent, asking him, about the guitar, like you say, and he's holding up. He goes, "Listen." He goes, "I don't hear anything." No, listen, and he's chewing the gum, the big wad of gum, and he's got the cigarette, and that's what makes the movie hilarious. The facial expressions, all that stuff.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, and just those. I mean, like thinking about the part where what's his name? Who's the Derek Smalls goes through the customs.
Yeah.
And she asks him if he has any metal plates or anything.
I remember that part.
Yeah. Pulls out the big cucumber.
Yeah.
Oh, man. There's just, you could go on about that movie for hours. There's just, and my understanding is that so many bands back then were, they kind of compared themselves to it or they got insulted.
I went through it. Yep.
Really?
I went through a lot of that. I'm not kidding you, Tyson. Some of not 100% of that, but some of that stuff with the girlfriend interfering and the this and showing up and they don't have a room and this and that. You go through a lot of that stuff if you're touring.
Yeah.
And man, if I can relate, believe me.
Yeah, or like not being able to find the stage.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
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 It's rock and roll.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Oh man, it was so good.
And you mentioned that. Thank God, my last touring was in 94. 94. And they started backstage when you played a little bit bigger venues as the opening act. You weren't the major act, the headliner, so nobody really cared about us anyhow. But the point is, it was so good because they started printing out, pieces of paper and put them in the hallway with arrows. This way to venue, this way to this, this way to cake. And it was like, I got to eat something, this way to catering. And thank God, because I'm telling you right now, some of those buildings are so big.
Yeah.
If you've never been there before, it's horrendous to find yourself around, right? It's ridiculous.
Now I just wonder if, how the opening band at the end of a tour would get duped by the headliner. I just wonder if the opening band ever did that. I mean, the headliner ever did that to the opening band and changed the arrows.
No. Not to say it doesn't happen, but it never happened to me personally. And I can say that the several tours that I've been on in the 90s, the early 90s, the bands that I've opened for with my band back then, they treated us pretty well, even though we didn't have close relationships with them because basically staff kept us apart.
Yeah.
But no, it was overall very good experiences. Yes.
Well, that's good. That's good. Now I've read in your bio it's talking about the music. It's compared to bands such as Journey, Toto, and Styx. Now those are some pretty heavy hitters in terms of melodic hard rock. Was this the music you both grew up listening to and possibly the reason it comes out sounding like that?
Well, for me, when I was younger, because again, I'm in my 60s, I grew up, of course, like everyone else, with the Beatles and the Dave Clark Five and the Monkees and all that kind of stuff. But as I started to get into high school and stuff, which was in the 70s, a lot of the more of the British Invasion type of bands and that kind of stuff, the Zeppelins and stuff like that. And then in the 80s, all the hair bands that were commercial hard rock that became melodic and started to play some really, really good music with good harmonies and that's what really sold me on this, And so I guess your question is, yes, my favorite bands are the bands we list as influences because they're real musicians. They know how to tune their instruments.
Yeah.
They know how to play their instruments. They know how to write a song. They know how to sing. And the list goes on and on. So, it's a turn on, right? That's the kind of music I love.
Yeah, and I mean, their songs have become timeless now.
For sure.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It's crazy to think that a song like Don't Stop Believin', more or less because of the Sopranos, kind of made a huge comeback. And people just love that song still today, right?
Yeah, and you talk about that, you talk about the irony. When The Sopranos ended, the last episode, as you know, no one really knew if Tony Soprano was killed or not.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, in real life, he passed away. So now you have the ending of the story, right?
Yes, exactly.
So, while that music was being played by Journey.
Yeah, and it's kind of, I wonder if the irony in them playing that song was, we don't really know, but don't stop believing kind of thing, like that kind of metaphoric thing that TV people seem to do that a lot of people may not pick up on. But it's quite possible that that's why they did it that way. Who knows, right? Yeah,
for sure. And Mike, what some of the music you grew up with and you loved that were your influences, you had a lot of Canadian bands, right? That you liked?
Yeah, actually, one that really sticks on my mind is April Wine. And just like Gary, he likes Styx a lot too. I was the exact same way. Styx, April Wine for me. There's a band, you guys probably heard about them. Maybe Gary Knott is a band called Lee Aaron. You recall them?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Phenomenal.
Love them.
Phenomenal band.
I love Lee Aaron. Really do.
Yeah. I've seen her perform maybe about 7, maybe 8 times, and the show and the guitar sound they have, and just whatever they do, I just love all the shows they've done.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I remember the guitar sound on Body Rock and really loving that guitar song. It was just phenomenal, right?
Yeah. And then remember Metal Queen, the start of that song? That was just phenomenal.
It was killer.
And the video is amazing too.
I haven't seen that video in years. It was probably on Toronto Rocks back in
I seen a documentary on it. They said it took them like 15 hours to record the whole video. Like they had a nice stage set, and it looked amazing when they were done.
Wow. Yeah, I'd like to see that video again. I might have to look that up on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm sure if you go on YouTube, just type in Metal Queen Lee Aaron, it'll be out there. But I heard
her.
What's that?
Everything else. I just want to see her.
Oh, exactly.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to mention that, but
yeah. It's and Tyson saying it's a family show, man.
Exactly.
No, it's not. We can say it. It's all good. Yeah. I remember like back then, and it was like Lee Aaron was the hot Canadian female.
Oh yeah.
And then Lita Ford was the hot American female.
Yeah.
Who played guitar too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think she's doing jazz right now. I think she's still doing it, but
Lee Aaron, you mean?
Yeah, I think she's doing the jazz thing.
Yeah, I actually saw her at that festival in London about maybe 10 years ago with it was her, Joan Jett, Sammy Hagar, and Skid Row, I think it was.
Nice combination.
Yeah, it was, but she mixed in. She'd do like Metal Queen, but she like made Metal Queen. It was the last song, and it was all laid back and jazzy. It was really weird.
That'd be strange.
It was. But I mean, she did some of the rock stuff, and then she'd do some of the jazz. It was kind of like, I don't know if I like this. I wasn't really sure, to be honest with you. It was like, I just wanted to see her rock out, because especially being in that lineup, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I mean, overall, she was good anyways, but it was kind of a weird thing.
And the guitar player was phenomenal in that band. I think his name was John Avaney, I believe.
Yeah, I can't, you know what, I'd have to pull out the album because I don't remember.
He got out of the guitars back then, it was phenomenal.
Yeah, which was, his guitar sound on, I mean, like I said, on Body Rock, like on What You Do to My Body and Hands Off, was really...
He's a recording guy too, and that's probably why he's got such good tone out of his guitar.
Yeah. Like, so, I mean, speaking of that, in terms of guitar players and whatnot, like, who influenced you guys in terms of guitar?
Well, for me, you see, that's a question a lot of people ask, and they put this, and please, for your listeners, don't take this the wrong way. They put musicians up on a pedestal, and you know what? There's a lot of musicians that we're just people, and we play an instrument. So, as far as, I don't have any guitar gods or influences, but I'll tell you the work I like. I do like Tom Schultz of Boston.
Cool.
I like what he's done. I think he plays extremely well, especially with his harmonies and his layers and everything that he does for his music. Yeah, exactly. I like Tommy Shaw. I like the work he does. I like the guys from Def Leppard, what they do. So, I would say there's a whole potpourri of guitars for me, but not any one particular guy where I'd say, well, he's killing it. He's the boss. That's not me. So I think there's a lot of influences that I have, overall.
Yeah, I think I'm basically the same way too. Like Tom Schultz, just like Gary was saying, he's I just look up to his style, and he's just a genius when he puts stuff together. Randy Rhoads is another influence on me, and I'm trying to think of some other guys. And also Def Leppard, just the way they layer stuff together, put the songs together. It's just so phenomenal.
You know what? It's funny you guys both mentioned Def Leppard because you guys being from the area, do you guys go to, do you shop at Long and McQuaid?
Yes. Are they going to sponsor us right now if we mention them? So.
Well, you know what? I'm going to give Kevin Simpson a plug because I don't know if you guys know Kevin. He's the manager over at the Oshawa store, and he just joined a Def Leppard tribute band. So him and I...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's doing the Phil Collin part, and him and I were just talking about all those textures and how especially on Hysteria, how the guitar parts intertwine together, and it's just for a bunch of guys that were in their early 20s. I mean, what they did at that time was just phenomenal.
Well, even before that, I remember when they first came on the scene. I'm originally from New York, born and raised, and the point is, when they came to the States, and they started touring. They were in their late teens, actually. They weren't even 20 yet.
I think 18, 19 they were.
Yeah, and, they had to have their parents with them, or people, basically, guardians. Yeah, for sure. Because they were playing venues and stuff where there was alcohol and things served. So, and Mutt Lange had a lot to do with a lot of that stuff too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, absolutely. It's a layered, beautiful, harmonized guitar sound, two different rhythms going at once. I love that. When you have two different rhythms. And by the way, if I may say so, Tyson.
Yes.
One of the unique things about our band, we're not any god, we're not anybody, we're not putting ourselves on a pedestal or anything. But what makes our sound unique is 90%, 9 out of 10 songs, when we have our guitars going, Mike and I together, I'm always playing an acoustic and Mike's playing electric, and you get that really good crunch electric stuff that Mike's playing, and I'm playing a lot of open chording, same thing he's playing, but open chording on an acoustic. And if you get that mixed properly front of house, out in the venue or on a record, that solves all the intricacies about music where, when you get the crunch, you're also getting the individual notes that you can hear, and they're not distorted and they're clean.
Yeah.
And it makes a very, very, very unique sound.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny that you actually mentioned that, because I was going to touch on a couple of the songs. Because Tell Me, for instance, starts off as an acoustic. It's kind of like you think it's going to be a ballad, and then it kicks in. I love that actual acoustic guitar sound. It's very bright. It's in the mix. It sounds really, it's somewhat like a chorus or with some delay or something on it. And
yeah, for sure.
It's not that normal recorded acoustic sound. And I personally love that type of acoustic sound. I like it to be, nice and fat and really rings nicely. So I kind of get what you were going with. And then, like you said, the guitars are heavy, like with the electric, and it's kind of in your face, and it's like, wow. And I really think it's a good mix.
Thank you. So you can thank Mike for the mix.
Thank you.
Well done, man. Very well done.
A lot of work.
Pardon me?
It was a lot of work doing that. It's many hours down in the basement working on it.
Yeah, and it shows. And I mean, sometimes I don't know. Sometimes you listen to an album and you're like, it's almost like they didn't really take the time to really listen to what the music was. And I think on this it's very well done. So.
Thank you for that. If I could interject for a second, it might not sound like it. People that listen to those two new tunes, Tell Me and Why Oh Why. Yeah. The bottom line is, for me, less is more, meaning equipment-wise, not layering and overdubbing. That's not what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But, that guitar that I use is a $200 guitar. I use a 40-year-old chorus pedal.
Wow.
I'm not into a lot of high-end, high-tech stuff. As a matter of fact, I was on YouTube, really quick here. I was on YouTube last night, actually, and I was looking up equipment that all the most guitarists tour with nowadays. You go behind the scenes, you look at their guitar techs.
Yeah.
And almost every single one, I'll repeat that, has a guitar tech backstage, and all their effects, all their processing is analog pedals on a drawer that they pull out, and they're hitting everything during the show, right?
Yeah.
So the guy out front, he's got nothing in front of him.
Yeah.
But everything you see is $40 pedals, $60 pedals, $90 pedals, $24 pedals, duct tape and everything. And you got Clapton, you had Eddie Van Halen. I saw the guys from Green Day, the guys from Boston. All this stuff is pedals, just crap basically, and that's how they're getting their sound.
Yeah, and that's crazy. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with a band from Switzerland called Gotthard. They're kind of the biggest Swiss band in Switzerland. Like, they sell out the Zurich Arena. They're a hard rock band. They've been around for about 25 years. But just when COVID hit, they had a new album coming out, and they had to do their album release party in their rehearsal spot. So anyways, they go into the rehearsal spot, and the main guitar player, Leo Leone is his name. He's got this wall of of Marshalls. But right in the middle of it is this section, like you said, with all these pedals in it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I thought, as soon as you mentioned that, I was like, that totally set me off, and I was thinking about that.
And and I'm not putting down any other guitars or bands that use more technology. That's fine, because you use what you want to use, right? It's your personal preference.
Mm-hmm.
But the majority of those great bands, I was looking at the tour setup for, you remember the band Europe, right? Final Countdown?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Our player out front, he has a wah pedal. A lot of guys are using a wah pedal for tone, basically, not for wah.
Yeah.
And a typical Boss tuner, he's got a Boss and an MXR chorus, and he's got an MXR distortion. That's all he uses through Marshalls.
Yeah.
Now here's the guy, multi-platinum, multi-millionaire, hit after hit after hit after hit, using $122 worth of pedals. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's John Norm, I believe it is, and phenomenal player. And,
Oh, yeah.
just and you mentioned that wah thing, because I mean, like, you think of Michael Schenker,
Yeah.
and his wah. That's where he got that throaty sound. He had it turned on. He didn't use it, but he would have it all the way down to the front, and that's how he kind of got that sound.
Yeah, you get the tone out of that, right?
That's
So,
Yeah.
and a wah pedal is nothing more than just basically a fancy tone control with a pot in it, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
So, and that's what people use, and you know, and people go, well, I was at the ACC up here in Canada, you know, and I was hearing what a guitar sound. And then if you can go backstage and look at what they use, they go, that's what they use. The guy uses a clean guitar through an MXR distortion through a Marshall. That's all he uses. Yeah, that's all he uses. Because you know where the sound comes from, Tyson. You know where it comes from. Your hands.
Exactly. Fingers.
Yeah.
Your fingers, your playability. So, yeah. Anyways, I didn't mean to get off on a tangent.
No, you didn't. I mean, this is why it's nonstop rock talk, because I mean, we can more or less talk about anything.
Yeah.
You know.
And like you say, as a guitar player yourself, I would hear something that you would play or do, and I'd say, "Whoa, that's pretty cool." And then I would try to do that, and then I couldn't do it exactly like you, so it wouldn't sound the same.
That's right. I mean, it's that old. I don't know if you remember this, when Van Halen toured with Ted Nugent.
Yeah, I remember that story.
Right,
Yeah,
and Nugent went up to Eddie and asked if he could play through his rig, and because he had that elusive brown sound, right?
That's right. Yeah.
But it didn't sound like Eddie; it sounded like Ted Nugent through Eddie Van Halen's guitar rig. But
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that was a guitar player article.
Yeah, it was, and that goes back many years. But I think so many people have talked about that over and over again. But I mean, it's kind of phenomenal when you think about it, because Eddie's guitar tone is just that. It's legendary, right?
It is.
It is legendary. And you feel bad. You talked about Long and McQuaid, and, Mike and I do support that music store. We'll admit it, and we buy a lot of our stuff there, of course.
Yeah.
But, you see these younger kids who go in there, and no offense, and I'm not putting anyone down. It could be older kids. It could be older men. It could be younger women. It doesn't matter. They go in there, and they just, anything that's put in front of them or anything they see, they think, wow, that's going to give me the sound. I need this. I need this.
Yeah.
I need this. And you hear the parents saying, well, we can't afford that right now. Oh, but for me to get that sound, I need it. You know what? Get a little $80 amp and a decent guitar and one pedal and kick it in for some crunch, and there you go. Learn to play your guitar and tune it.
Sounds good.
I remember, like, when I started, I had a little PV practice amp. And I had it, like, my first guitar was like an Ibanez that my dad bought me. And it was like $200 or something, like maybe $300.
Yeah.
And this PV amp. And I used that for years, and that's what I learned to play on. Until I graduated, I got older, and I could buy myself a Marshall, and then my obsession with gear, went a little further, but the guitars got.
I know a guy like that. Yeah. Mike, right there. And you mentioned, Tyson, what you started with, and then what you graduated up to.
Yeah.
And I think we all do that. But I was on a tour in '93, and I use a 40-year-old Marshall head that I love.
I love that.
And I'm using it, and it blew up on stage. Literally, the output transformer started on fire.
Oh, wow.
And there were sparks and everything else, and a flame behind it, and all of a sudden the whole stage was starting to fill with smoke because of the burning.
Holy Jesus.
And of course, one of the techs ran out with a fire extinguisher and killed it, so we had to postpone the show for about 20 minutes or so. And the rest of that show, and for like several shows after that, and this is a tour, these are 10, 15, 20,000 seat venues. I used a little PV Mace amp. Do you remember those?
But I think it was probably close to what I used to have,
It was just a little 10-inch speaker.
Yeah.
It had gain on it, and plus I then added a distortion pedal, but it had a 10-inch speaker, and it was basically, that's my amp that filled the stage and these venues. Of course, you mic it, right?
Yeah.
That's all I used, and it worked. I had a good crunch. I had a good sound coming through that PA on the stage. It was cranked through the monitors, and I had this little 10-inch speaker, 35-watt amp, and it was doing it for me.
And I mean, I have a story to go along with that. I did a flyout gig in Banff, probably 7 or 8 years ago. So we had to, within 3 months, we did 2 gigs at the same bar. So the first time we go there, the back line's there. There's a Marshall 2000 JC. I can't remember what the number was on it, but anyways, a really expensive Marshall. So anyways, the next time we go, we've got our guitars and everything, and I get there and there's no amp on stage. And I'm like, well, what's going on here? Like, I brought some pedals with me, luckily. I think I had a distortion pedal, maybe. I can't remember. But anyways, more or less what had happened was they didn't want to supply the back line this time. Because that gig was actually, we were going to go play in Edmonton at a casino the next night. And more or less, this was kind of like a fill-in gig for us to go and play and then go to Edmonton. Mm-hmm. So anyways, this guy ended up bringing this amp from home. And I more or less hooked the distortion pedal into it. And this thing was old. And I was like, I don't even know if I can get a good sound out of this.
Right.
And sure enough, he mic'd it up. And it wasn't what I was used to, but it did the trick. And I got through the show and all was good.
Yeah, and it works, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So less is more sometimes,
Yeah, exactly. And I just bought a new head, and I went to Long McQuaid and I said to Kevin, I was like, I'm looking at this, 100-watt Marshall, and he's like, this new, it's the equivalent to the JCM 800. They don't make that anymore, but it's the equivalent. And he's like, what are you doing? He's like, you don't need 100 watts anymore. He's like, you're fine. He goes, try this Hughes and Kettner. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. He's like, take it home, try it out, see what you think. He goes, it's got a built-in red box in it, so you can mic directly into the back of the amp. It's got a ton of settings on it, but honestly, I don't use them because I just, I primarily use one distortion sound, one clean with a few, like chorus or whatever I need, some delay, a little bit of reverb. But anyways, I ended up buying it, and this amp is like, it's got settings on the back where you can bump down the amperage. You can go 5, 10, 20, 40.
Great.
And it's incredible. And when you put it on the 5 amp setting, it just sounds incredible. It's crazy. So, sometimes less is more because I've got so much in that amp that I don't use, but because I'm just used to hearing it the way I hear it, right?
Right, for sure.
But I'm really impressed with the amp, but did I need all that stuff in it? Probably not.
Yeah, but okay, so the good news is you say to yourself, well, it's there in case I want to use it, in case I need it, or if I want to experiment with it. But,
that's right.
Going back to your point, that was a really good decision you make, I think. And
yeah.
But you have these kids now, they don't, they just go with their guitar gods and their guitar heroes, and this is what this guy has, and this is what he uses, so I'm going to do it. Well, that doesn't mean you're going to sound like him.
Yeah, exactly. I've used a Marshall for years. Yeah. But my Marshall's beat up from being, from so many gigs, and I broke a bunch of knobs on it. I was using a Marshall preamp for years, and the stuff it doesn't last forever. So it was now the opportunity to move on to something else. And I said to Kevin, I was like, well, don't you think that head's going to look a little funny on top of my Marshall cabinet? And he goes... Yeah. He goes, it lights up, like the whole front's blue. He goes,
yeah, I know, they're pretty wild.
Yeah, he's like, people are going to love it. And I'm like, okay, whatever. All right, let's roll with it.
Oh, for sure, man.
I
But
think Alex Leifman uses Houston Cabinet.
Yep. He's a big fan of them.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, German technology, right? They're pretty impressive. I mean, it looks. When I first got it, I turned all the lights off in my apartment just to look at it, just to see that blue.
Excellent.
Great.
Oh, that's awesome. So, guys, in terms of live, like once COVID's all over, do you guys get out and play live?
Well, yeah, we try to, but nothing's been going on the last 5 months, for sure. So, and now we're going to have to. We will be auditioning other bass players and drummers now again for our touring our gig band. And so once that's out, we will be working with our management company and again trying to get gigs filled so we can go out and play. And by the way, so we're not a cover band. We don't play any cover tunes at all. Just to let you know that. And
to hear that.
And we're not a bar band either. We would play, if you call it a bar, but it's mostly clubs, it could be venues from 300 to 1,500 people or more. It's not your nice enjoyed pub or bar where you're in the corner with a 4x4 stage with a light bulb hanging from the ceiling and one bad receptacle behind you to plug in all your power. We're not we're not that kind of band. So we're more opening for people, bigger venues, casinos, that kind of thing. That's what we're looking to do.
Cool. And let's hope that. I don't know if there's going to be live music this year. It's
looking tough.
It's looking tough. It is. I mean, we're July already, and we're thinking about the end of the year. But I mean, the way things are going, it's hard to say, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but and the sad news is, not to rain on your parade for nonstop rock talk. Yeah. They're looking at a possible other virus coming out of China that they discovered 3 or 4 weeks ago. It's been on the news.
Oh boy.
Another swine flu in the meat. Yeah, swine flu from the meat.
That's been around for a while now. That's been an older one, right?
That was one before, right?
That's an older one, right? Swine flu, that's been around.
Well, there's been 40 or 50 throughout history, swine flu.
Oh,
but it's another strain, obviously.
Another strain of swine flu. So they're finding it in their meat supply.
Wow.
And they're trying to contain it right now. And so far, they haven't had a big breakout or anything, in that country.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. We have COVID, which probably will not be 100% deleted throughout the winter, and most viruses, flu viruses, are around in the winter and are spread easier because people are in close proximity to each other inside the house.
That's right.
Or building, So if you get that one that hasn't totally been eradicated, and then you get a new one, who the heck knows what's going to go on, right? We might be in our basement for the next 2 years. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, right.
So listen, all you listeners of Nonstop Rock Talk, don't get discouraged and don't hate Walker's K. But I'm just giving you some news, that's all.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of a let's wait and see what happens, and let's hope, fingers crossed, that it doesn't become an issue because, oh boy.
Yeah, bummer.
Well, I mean, guys, before I let you go, is there anything else you'd like to, promote, say, like your website, anything like that, where they can reach the band?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we can do, if you want to, go on the computer and just type in www.walkersk, and that'd be cay.ca. So walkersk.ca, and you can just get everything else that you need to get from the website. You can get to the Facebook page, you can get to Twitter, get to SoundCloud, you can get to anything we have on there, and just look at the press and you can see the latest updates, what's going on with the band. There's news on there. There's videos. It's like a one-stop shop kind of thing going on.
Yeah, it's a one-stop shop potpourri thing.
Exactly.
Like
There's merch on there, too, if you want to check it out. There's a little store if you want to check out some T-shirts and some hats and some other stuff.
You guys got it all covered. That's awesome.
We're trying to.
Oh, good for you. Good for you.
Thank you.
Merchandising is good, right? Getting the name out there. And that's great.
And, and I'll say this, once we're back into the studio where our warehouse is and we have a lot of merch, Tyson, we'll contact you again and get some sizes from you and stuff. We'll send you out some free merch.
Cool. That'd be awesome.
Once we can get back in there and, get things happening.
Okay, great. That's awesome, guys. Well, hopefully, I mean, down the road, hopefully you guys can come on the show again and we'll talk some more, and you've got some new music, anything that's happening with the band, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. And we have one thing we want to say to you.
What's that?
Keep the power grid working.
Well, it's not all up to me, but I'll do my best.
You do your best, man. When we need supplies, we need cable or tools or whatever. We need the meters or we need this. Yeah. Tyson is the man to call.
Exactly.
You know what? This is the first time that we've probably ever mentioned on my show anything hydro related. So
yeah.
So people are probably scratching their head going, what the hell are they talking about?
Hydro One. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Just for Tyson. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
In a world where power is everything, Tyson Braden keeps it going for Hydro One. He's the man that orders everything so you can charge your phone, your iPad, watch your porn, everything. Tyson Brighton. He's the one for Hydro One.
I like it. That was very good.
Excellent, Gary.
Yeah, Gary. Wow. Very
well. We'll do some promos if you want when we're done here. So
sounds good.
Perfect.
All right, you guys have a great night. Thank you so much, and we'll keep in contact. And
for sure,
hopefully, when everything's over, I can come out and get to see you guys too.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Thank you, Tyson, and good luck with the baseball stuff too.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay, you have a great night.
Care.
Okay,
you too. Take care,
Mike. Thank you.
See you. Bye.
Bye.